So, talk to me about Prometheus. I mean, we've been watching the Alien franchise. I've been showing them to you. You had kind of seen the first one when you were a little itty bitty baby.
Enough that it doesn't count.
You didn't remember, except for, you didn't remember because your therapist did that hypnosis so that you blocked it out. But Prometheus is a little bit of a weird... Talk to me about Prometheus.
I mean, I have seen Prometheus.
Okay.
I have seen it. I saw it within a year or two of its release.
Okay, so it came out 2012.
Yeah.
So it's been 10 years.
I haven't seen it since.
Okay, so it's been probably 10 years.
But I've got a pretty good memory for film that I've watched.
Right. Huh. But when you saw it, you didn't have the context of, you hadn't seen everything else.
Obviously not.
So there's some finesse there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you a gimme.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think you gave me one, so I'll give you one.
So welcome back to the Xenomorph Biology 101 show with your hosts.
Let's talk about biology.
First,
your favorite science class in high school. I never took biology. Did you?
No. I mean, we did biology things in regular science, but I didn't take a dedicated biology. I'm trying to think, what high school? Because I didn't finish, right? I think you know this.
You dropped out?
Yeah, I dropped out.
Did you get GED?
No. So here's the thing.
You don't have a diploma?
I don't have a high school diploma.
You didn't even write the GED?
No.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
But, so here, okay, brief history on my high school thing. I just didn't care, right? I didn't.
That tracks.
I didn't often go. When I did go, I didn't do. I don't know how I didn't fail more classes than I did. I failed one class. I failed grade 10 English.
Oh, you'd be around your generation is when they stopped failing people.
Yeah. Well, a couple years after me, I think. But so I failed grade 10 English and then had to do I did a summer school so that I didn't, fall behind, which was also just a big joke. And I made some good friends in summer school, so it was worth it. It was just kind of a social thing. But all throughout high school, I was pretty solidly in the mid 50s for marks, mid to low 50s, just really scraping. If I had gotten a 60, I would have been over the moon, right? Would have been for me, that would have been, I don't know how I did this, but somehow I got a 60. Because I literally didn't hand anything in. So I don't know how I didn't fail more classes. I really don't know. I have a suspicion on why I didn't fail grade 9 French. And I think that's because my grade 9 French teacher was just there's I know he's not going to take grade 10 French. And I know that if I hold him back, he'll never graduate if I hold him back. So I passed that class with a 50 or 51 or something. Because I didn't speak a word of French. And looking back on it, I'm I did an exam in a language I did not speak.
Yeah, I got to do a basic French thing. It was
But so anyways, I dropped out in grade 11 3 weeks or a month before my final grade 11 exams.
Okay.
Never went back did anything, didn't do a GED, just started, got out and started working. But then in my late 20s, I graduated college with a 96 average. So,
how'd you get into college without a high school diploma?
Because it had been 10 plus years.
You write a aptitude test.
You can apply as what's called a mature student.
Yeah.
And then you write a test.
It's actually not even 10 years. So I was out of high school for 2 years, and I passed high school.
Yeah.
I have my diploma. I was out of high school for 2 years, and I had to write one to go to college.
Right. Yeah. So anyways, so that's, is what it is. So I'm educated. I'm highly educated.
You know what? Between the two of us, we have a full primary and post-secondary education.
Yeah. We got to stick together.
You went to high school, dropped out,
Yeah.
got a college diploma. I went to high school, got it, dropped out of college.
Did you not finish college?
I was 3 credits away. There were like 3 throwaway credits that okay, one of them wasn't. The weirdest thing. So I took business school.
Yeah.
One of the credits was like now it's like an elective, but when I took it, it was like some weird student success thing.
Right.
Where it was kind of like, how do you live as a college student? How do you succeed studying and that kind of stuff? Like a really BS class.
So much of what I did in college that was quote unquote mandatory.
This was supposed.
I was like, why am I paying for this?
This class was supposed to be a show up and you pass class.
Yeah, you failed it.
Over half my class failed that class.
Oh, wow.
The teacher was a total dick.
Apparently.
And then the other 2 were, one was database management, which I never even took. I dropped it because I had a heavy class load.
Yeah.
Because in the first year it was a 2-year course. The first year I took microeconomics, which I absolutely aced. I got like high 80s, 90 mark in that.
Right.
And then the first semester of the second year was a macroeconomics course, which I failed. And I was just like, that's weird. Like, it's the same concepts, just larger scale, a little bit more complex because it's larger. And I was like, okay, I guess second semester I'll take it as a night course.
Right.
Which is why I dropped database management. And I failed it again. I failed macroeconomics twice.
Good God.
And I just, after that, I ended up in the career I wanted. And I was just like, maybe I'll go get it. And then life took a real U-turn on me. And decided I don't need it.
That's one of the things, right? Like, so yeah, like I said, I did really well in college.
Yeah.
I was like 10 years older than most of the students in college.
Yeah. More mature.
But I had students emailing me asking if I could look over their project for them. Right? Like,
right.
And it was, I don't know, which was a real slog on me because I didn't want to say no to anyone, but also I didn't have time. Like, I don't have the time to
ask for some money.
Yeah, I'm working on my own here.
Throw me $100, I'll look it over.
Yeah, I should have. But yeah, no, you know what? If you get into the career that you want to be in, there was, I almost took film school. Yeah. I applied. It was a 3-year program. I applied. It was a really hard to get into program. Mm-hmm. They said they accept 90 students per year, and they had 1,100 students apply. Whew. And it was like you had to go, in addition to any sort of proficiency things, you had to go and you sat in this big auditorium, and with a pen and paper, you wrote out an essay, like an entry essay. A topical entry essay.
Like in class kind of had to write.
Yeah,
it.
Basically. Yeah, you have 2 hours to write out an essay on I think it was like your favorite movie or your favorite thing about film, or it was like something like that. Right. But you can't just sit there and be like, my favorite movie is this because
I like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, like you're trying.
I think it's funny.
You're trying to get into
and the visual effects are
this
cool.
program, right? I got in.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't end up doing it because it was 3 years instead of 2. It was a shit ton more money because like each year you had to at the end of each year you'd have like a big short film project that you'd have to do, but you also had to finance that yourself.
Oh really?
Like there was additional, it was an extra like $1,200 a year or something to like get this thing done. And so I just kind of, that, and I had already been doing some film stuff for a while, and I chatted with someone who was already working in the industry, and they're like, dude, like with everything you've already self-taught yourself, just keep
Keep
doing
going.
this, right? Take the 50 grand you would spend on school, take a tenth of that, and finance a short film, right?
Yeah.
Just go do it. Learn by
finance
doing
a short film and then take it around to the indie festivals.
Yeah, just start, or take it as a learning experience or whatever, and it'll still have been a tenth of what you would have paid for school, right? But but yeah, they talked about in this film program how like you with most college programs, at some point you will have a placement, right? You'll be out in the workforce, doing something related to your field. And so, and the film industry was no different. Here at the school that I would have attended, you get to go to like, some of you would get a job basically probably at one of the film studios in Toronto, and be working on like Netflix projects or Disney projects or whatever. And yeah, they told stories about like students that, and it's in your second last semester that you do that. And yeah, they told stories about like students that went, did their placement in their second last semester.
You mean the second semester?
No, second last.
You said it was 3 years. So
3 years.
Second last would be second.
It would be the fifth semester.
You said 3 years, not 5.
There's 2 semesters per year.
Oh, semesters. Right. Okay. So I was sorry. My head was somewhere else.
Apparently.
I'm on track.
So the first semester of your third year.
Right.
And they talked about like there are students that have gone and done their placement, loved where their placement was, their placement loved them. They were hired at this job immediately out of their placement. So in their final semester, they're working in the industry and finishing up school.
Right.
And teachers have advised students, what are you doing? Why are you finishing school? There's not a ton left that we can teach you. You're doing what it is that you're hoping to do.
Resume.
Go do it. Just go do it. You're already doing it, right? Like we can't teach you. We're not going to teach you anything else that you're not going to learn at work in the field.
Work experience is
hello
so
and
much
welcome
to
the Movie Man podcast. Sorry,
we are.
This is the bullshit that I deal with, bouncing back and forth between recording with you and Pete.
We are
the B team is what you would know. That's what you say. Why are you waiting for me to say that?
I don't know. I was just
being a dick.
I was
trying
to mix it up.
You're like that college
trying
professor.
to mix it up, get a little funky in here.
Okay.
Do a little dance, make a little love.
No thanks.
Get done. Anyway,
that's a hard pass.
We watched Prometheus.
It's not that kind of show.
We
did. Yeah.
Weird film. Prequel. Technically.
But not technically. It
is. Yeah.
Flat out. And interestingly, like before we give initial impressions, just something I was thinking about, like a prequel, without showing my hand for what I think of the film, I think it's fair to say that a prequel that most people probably weren't asking for, right? Like if you had been a fan of the Alien franchise, let's say it's the late...
You've seen them all up till now.
And it's the late 2010s.
Got them all on Laserdisc.
This film hasn't even been announced yet. And I come up to you and I say, hey, we're both like big Alien fans. You know what we're missing? We're missing a prequel. We're missing a film.
Who's that big guy in the chair from number 1?
Yeah, the big guy in the chair, and just something that like really explains why this is the way it is. I'm guessing you, Carl, would go, no, I don't need that. I don't need to know all that.
Yep. Yeah. That would be my response.
Yeah, right. And so, just surprising to me that this even got made. But now, with that aside, let's give our initial impressions. Let's show our hands.
Your pick. You go first, or
this is a great movie. It's a really great movie. It at times has me feeling. It is the first film in the franchise that makes me feel uneasy. Like there's moments where I'm like kind of half like side-eyeing the TV because I don't want to look, which doesn't happen to me a lot. So it does feel like, and not surprising because Ridley Scott's the director. In a lot of ways, this kind of feels like Ridley Scott reclaiming his franchise.
Yeah, because after the
First one. He only directed the first one.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So then very much so. Yeah.
Feels like him reclaiming his franchise.
Oh yeah, I had a vision in mind of what this universe was. They went somewhere else. I'm going to bring it back to the direction I wanted.
That's something I want to talk to you about once we get into it. But so Return of the Director, return the first one that's like a firm return to the horror genre. I think it's good. What I will be deciding today is whether or not it is as good and or better than the first one. If this is the best one yet.
So if that's your initial impression, I'm hearing that you don't think it's going to be worse than your top-rated Alien films. Well,
yeah, because the first one is my top-rated one. I'm pretty certain that it will, like, at worst, it will get second place. At worst, it will get second place.
Cool.
What did you think?
Yeah, so seen it before. You saw it before, obviously.
Yeah, once.
You put it on the list.
I saw it more recently than you did, and I remembered...
Because you watched the whole series fairly recently.
Yeah, probably in 2022 or 2023.
So 2 or 3 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remembered very little. There were moments where it's like I knew Michael Fassbender's character was the robot.
Yeah.
The rest of the cast surprised me.
Right.
I and I remembered, I knew that it was mostly about the engineers, like the big humanoid guys.
Yeah. Cool.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
So your initial impression?
My initial impression, right.
Yeah.
Did you ask me that already?
I did.
Oh, sorry. Just gonna awkward pause. Yeah, so I've seen this film before.
Yep.
I did remember quite a bit of it.
Okay.
There are a few things that kind of like, oh yeah, okay, I remember that now after seeing it that I had forgotten. So there are few nice little surprises there that kind of in a remembering fashion surprised.
Yeah.
It's a good film. Yeah, really good film. It does a lot of things I like films. When I watch a film, like, this is how I would like my films kind of, I should be careful how I say that because I like some crap films.
Yeah, I was going to say, where are we?
When I watch a crap film, I know it's a crap film and I like crap films because they're crap films. But when a film is good and it's doing the things right the way things should be done, this film hits a lot of those marks for me, and we'll touch on those.
That was really confusing, but I think I'll follow.
Hopefully everyone else does too.
It's not a flawless film. There are some issues.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I agree. That's me saying as well.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. But
I would
say, and you already kind of landed on this, like, as far as the Alien franchise, the film didn't need this. That being said, if you go right from Aliens to this, that's an interesting premise.
Aliens or Alien?
Yes, or Alien.
Right.
Right. If you just look at the
first one.
Director's name.
Ridley Scott.
Wow. If you just look at if you scrap everything else and you just go Ridley Scott Alien verse, that's an interesting progression. But it's not, so it's like, I don't know if I needed this, but we got it, and it's nice, it's fun.
Better this time, you think, having watched the others?
Oh yeah,
recently.
Yeah,
gave you a little more like, okay, I'm connecting dots here.
Yeah, I mean, I think I knew enough about the Alien verse that the first time I watched, I was kind of
but probably things
connecting dots.
The guy in the chair, wouldn't have been a visual.
Because I never remembered that.
Yeah,
right. Those connections the first time I watched were like, oh, okay, I think I vaguely remember seeing something about that in the zeitgeist.
Right.
But now having watched everything up to this point, it's like, oh yeah, those connections are a lot cleaner. They're not kind of scribbly, and they're solid and bright, and it's like, oh, I see what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, take us away. Where are we going?
Well, just quickly on the topic of, a sequel or a prequel that we didn't need, but we're glad we got.
Yeah.
I'm glad, if Ridley Scott is going to return, if you are going to have a director who directed the first couple films in a franchise decades ago.
Right.
And is now returning to the franchise after several other directors have helmed films in it.
Yeah.
I think I like it being a prequel. Because
I think I know where you're going here. Yeah, go on.
Because there's a trend in Hollywood. Several franchises have done this, where this exact same thing will happen, right? You'll have a franchise that has 4 or 5 films in it. The original director does the first one, maybe the first 2. He comes back decades later to do the 6th one, the big, glorious return to the franchise. Right. And the first thing the director says? Although this takes place 30 years later, it is a direct sequel to the first 2 that I did. The other ones don't exist.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Terminator comes to mind for that with
Halloween
James Cameron.
did it.
Only 3 films, but the Disney Star Wars films feel very much in that vein.
How so?
You have...
just with J.J. Abrams
you
coming
got
back.
J.J. Abrams feeling like he's setting a lot of stuff up, and then you have Dummy McDum-Dum throwing everything out.
I mean,
with the baby out with the bathwater.
That's a little different.
And then James Cameron, or not,
J.J.
Abrams coming back and like trying to revive what was thrown out.
Hey man, I still, with a recent rewatch, I stand by The Last Jedi. It's got big issues, but I stand by it. And that situation's a little different because J.J. Abrams doesn't completely ignore the events of The Last Jedi, right? He's not coming in and saying, hey, by the way, episode 8 isn't canon. Whereas that is what James Cameron did. That is what they did with the Halloween franchise. Yeah. And I have to wonder if that's what would have happened here. Right.
If he had gone with a sequel rather than a prequel.
Yeah. You would have had, the 5th.
You don't have to mess with
You would have had
this,
Alien Rebirth or whatever. And an older Sigourney Weaver would be back and it would be a direct follow up to, she's been floating for 3,500 years.
Hybrid Weaver. Yeah.
Yeah. And now she's back. And
I agree with you. Yeah. It does work a lot nicer. Also, it lets the original mind play in that sandbox and completely do their own thing and craft the vision that they had about and build the world they had a lot more.
Yeah.
And without like you're saying, without messing with what's been established.
So the next one, Alien Covenant, is also directed by Ridley Scott. So he kind of just came in and...
Is it also a prequel?
I think it's a follow-up to Prometheus. Let me double check.
So it's probably going to like follow our protagonist from this film. What was her name?
Elizabeth Shaw.
Yeah, Elizabeth Shaw.
So
our new Ridley Scott.
Yes, it goes Prometheus.
Not Ridley Scott.
Prometheus.
Oh man.
So we have 2 films left in this series to watch.
My brain's fried for names right now. Anyway,
we have 2 films left. And this is where, like, up until this point, everything's been chronological order. This is where shit gets a little weird.
Right.
Prometheus is a prequel, the furthest back in the timeline, set in 2093. The next film is Alien Covenant, set in 2104. So it's set 11 years later. Then Alien Earth, which is the television series that we just discovered tonight. But that's coming out. That would be the next one chronologically in the timeline. It's set 2120, so 16 years after Alien Covenant. Then Alien, which is set in 2122, so 2 years after this Alien Earth show that's coming.
Sure.
Then Alien Romulus, which is the one we have not watched. It'll be the last one that we watch. Is set in 2142.
Are we going to have to watch the TV show independently?
I don't know. We'll figure that out when it comes. But so Alien Romulus takes place in that time between Alien and Aliens while Ripley is floating through space.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Lost and waiting to be found. So I have a question, and it's something that I want to look up. But I want us to sort of speculate first. Do you think that... when do you think that the concept and the details of this film entered the mind of Ridley Scott? The reason I ask is because the first Aliens comes out in what, like 79 or something? It's like the end of the 70s. And... if you look at something like Star Wars, right? Yes, the original trilogy comes out in the 70s and the 80s. We don't get the prequels until 1999 and on.
Yeah.
1999 to 2005. However, if you've watched the documentaries and you believe what he says, and I tend to when it comes to this, at the very least, by the time he was like sitting and penning the script for Empire Strikes Back, George Lucas had pretty much a treatment done for... he knew the story of the prequels.
Yeah.
He didn't have the script written out, but he knew that like Anakin...
He had a very rough draft.
Anakin, born of the Force, is going to become, and this is going to happen, and this is who Luke and Leia's mother is, and this is how Palpatine... this is how the Emperor became the Emperor, and
something like a notebook map. Probably not all laid out on legal paper. Definitely not just on a napkin.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And so he knew, like back in the 70s, he knew the story of the prequels.
Yeah.
So what I'm curious is, following him making, or even when he sat down to make, you don't sit down to make a film, but when he set out to make Alien and decided to put that big alien in the chair, right? Because I think this is our key.
Yeah.
The big alien in a chair, not a xenomorph.
Yeah.
Big alien in a chair.
Mm-hmm. Which
is not explained any further in Alien.
Yeah.
But is really...
and they don't dive into in the rest of them.
We don't revisit it until now.
Yeah.
How much do you think this was all scribbled out, not on a napkin, not on a legal pad, but somewhere in between?
Oh, it's definitely somewhere in between.
Way back when he made that first one.
Yeah, he definitely knows, as he's making Alien, he definitely knows, okay, these guys engineer life. They somehow created this alien life form, and he probably doesn't have a motivation for them. He probably doesn't have the biology figured out. But he might even I would say he probably even has gotten to the point where he's dabbling with ideas of the extent of how much they create. Like he's probably dabbling with the idea of, oh, maybe these guys even created humans and life on Earth,
right?
Potentially. But like that whole opening sequence we get, like he doesn't have that figured out, that they drink a cup of ooze and fall into water and life on Earth starts. Like he doesn't have that figured out. But I think he's definitely got it like 15-20% kind of backstory figured out.
So
you looking it up?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like
there's an answer out there
there is
somewhere
an answer,
in the zeitgeist.
and I want to know it.
Are you asking AI or?
No.
Hey Siri, tell us about James Cameron, because he's got nothing to do with aliens. Tell us why Carl's so bad with names.
Ridley Scott's involvement with the story behind Prometheus dates back to the early 2000s. He was originally considering a fifth entry in the Alien franchise. Ridley Scott and James Cameron even developed initial ideas for a prequel to Alien, while Prometheus ultimately became a separate film, not a direct sequel. It explored themes of mythology related to the Alien universe. Scott and Cameron began exploring ideas which would serve as a prequel, possibly exploring the origins of xenomorphs and the space jockey from Alien.
They didn't call it an engineer, space jockey.
The project evolved, ultimately becoming Prometheus, a film that shares strands of Alien's DNA, but is not a direct prequel, according to Scott.
Ooh.
Wait a second.
Not a direct sequel.
Hang on. Is Prometheus... we might be about to end this whole episode. Is Prometheus
a soft reboot?
Canon? Yes. Prometheus is generally considered canon within the Alien universe, particularly within the timeline within the timeline established by director Ridley Scott. It serves as a direct prequel to the original Alien, setting the stage for the events of that film. The film's story is designed to lead into Alien, and Scott wanted to avoid repeating previous accomplishments within the franchise. While there have been discussions about the film's status within the broader Alien universe, its connection to the original Alien and Scott's direction solidify its place within canon. There we go. Everyone else can go to hell. It's canon.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Nice.
You want to talk about the good, or you want to talk about the bad?
You're helming the ship, my friend.
Let's talk about the bad. We'll end with the good.
Okay.
There's some weird stuff. Like,
just a little bit.
There's some inconsistencies with the way that the engineer's hologram technology works. So the hologram technology being those moments of like memories.
Right.
There's like shadows of the past.
Somehow recording history.
Yeah. And so David gets into this, what initially, I don't know what this room is supposed to be. It's kind of like the stasis chamber. They also refer to it as a cargo hold.
No, the cargo hold was something else.
Okay.
That room they called the bridge, a bridge.
It's definitely the bridge.
Yeah,
because that's where they fly the ship from.
David, like when he's going back with everybody else, he's going back for the second, he calls it. We're going. To
apparently
the bridge,
for some reason the stasis pods are on the bridge. That seems weird to me, but whatever. I mean, so when he first gets to the bridge and sits down, there's an office chair or like just a chair.
Yeah.
There.
A big chair for a big guy.
Big chair. Not the captain's chair.
No.
But a big chair. That is facing like a command console.
Yeah.
David turns the chair so that it's facing him.
He pushes some buttons and the chair automatically kind of comes out to welcome him, we'll say.
Then he sits in it.
Yeah.
That seems to activate a memory.
The hologram.
The hologram.
Yeah.
During this hologram, one of the engineers, a hologram engineer, sits in the chair, causing David to like
freak out a little
GTFO. And the holograms, as we see, can't when you see them, like I think there's like not a pen or there's some sort of device sitting on the desk that it goes to pick up, and when it picks it up, the actual physical one stays there, and then all of a sudden we see the hologram version of it. Was it?
Yeah.
However, it seems to be able to interact with the chair, because the hologram sits down in the chair, and then the chair pivots back to where, and I was like,
yeah.
Is that seems like it's maybe not
Yeah.
consistent.
So, yeah, kind of in the same vein, super advanced, science advanced, just straight out advanced in all areas, alien race.
Oh, you want it? Yeah.
Let's activate our console with a
like a penny whistle, a recorder.
Are you what? What happens if you lose the whistle?
Oh, you don't. You don't lose the whistle.
Steve, where'd you put the whistle? Let's see. I took it to the bathroom, and I went to the cafeteria. Shit, I don't know. I think I left it outside.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
does everybody have their own whistle, or do they share that one? Do they disinfect it between uses?
I mean, it's still sitting on the thing, so I would assume that's the whistle.
Yeah.
This wouldn't be the first time that we see, like, not just in this franchise. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen like super advanced seeming technology, or like super advanced technology that works by or interacts with things that seem really mundane and primitive to us. Right. So I don't know. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. The other thing that stood out to me is like a logic gap, right? And here's the thing, like I understand that this is a sci-fi movie. It's a sci-fi horror. You have to suspend some disbelief, right? It's fictional. It's futuristic fictional stuff.
You got to suspend disbelief that the nun is a big evil demon.
Right. However...
Okay, accept the fact that that's real for this film.
Right. However, you still have to... I feel like as a filmmaker, you're still beholden to making sure that you don't have logic gaps or things that are... But that's not the way the universe works.
Yeah.
So the reason they're going out to this planet is because they found all these cave drawings and old tablets and hieroglyphics and whatever. All
with a big dude, people worshiping being a big dude.
Yep. And people separated by tens of thousands of years on opposite ends of the globe.
Yeah. And the big dude's always pointing to the same cluster of stars.
The same cluster of stars, which is how they go, okay, well, what is this cluster of stars? And let's navigate to them.
We find it, the cluster of stars in it, because we
far off.
We find out that there's a Earth type body of a moon.
There's a similar sun to what we have.
Similar sun, and then they find a moon orbiting a planet that has Earth-like-ish atmosphere.
Yeah. However, and I'm no physicist, I'm no astrophysicist, I am not Neil deGrasse Tyson. My understanding is that over the course of 35,000 years, the constellations and the star placements and the whatever change a little bit. Things change. And so it seems unreasonable to me.
Not only are we talking about biology now, we're talking about astrophysics.
Yeah, right. I don't know how many light years away. Like, let's assume they're traveling.
Well, they got there in 2 years.
Right. But let's assume they're not traveling at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Which means...
Well, I don't think they are, but...
Right.
Yeah.
So let's assume they're not.
Yeah.
Right? So going slower than the speed of light...
Going fast, but definitely slower than light.
Going slower than the speed of light, it takes them 2 years to get there. Which means that light from there would take less than 2 years to reach us.
Yeah.
Because then someone would make an argument, well, yeah, it's been some time, but however, you could still, we wouldn't see that they had moved because it takes... No, that argument goes out the window, right? Because literally from it takes less than 2 years for us to see the light coming from those stars.
Right.
Right. So whatever telescope we're pointing at it, we know that is accurate within less than 2 years.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, maybe it takes a year for it to reach us. Maybe we're going half the speed of light. It takes a year for that light to reach us, which means those stars could blow up or, whatever, and it would take a year for us to know it, but not 35,000 years. So I just don't see how 35,000 years ago these constellations are drawn out on these things, and then 35,000 years later we scan the sky and go,
oh,
yep,
there it
is.
Yeah.
Let's go there right now.
Outside of kind of hand waving at space magic, not even space magic because there's no space magic here. It's all science, right? The only thing, like, if I'm trying to headcanon it to make it make sense, the aliens this advanced civilization is going, okay, these primitives who are still cooking their meat over open fires and don't even understand how our basic technology as aliens work. They're not going to get anywhere close to space travel for another 3,000 years. So let's give them the coordinates of where this place will be 3,000 years from now. This is what the constellation will look like 3,000 years from now. That's the only hand wave kind of headcanon thing I can think of to make it make sense. I don't think that's too much of a stretch.
Well,
especially considering that all this stuff is like 100 years later, another civilization worshiping them has got different cave paintings or tablets, right? Because the one they find early on is like the oldest, and then they have like an Egyptian one, and then they have like one from Hawaii or something like that. So yeah, that's the only thing I can think of to kind of make that make sense.
So the internet just made it make sense for me.
What did they say?
Well, because we know, like, we've figured out a lot of spacey stuff, right? Like, we know the rate at which...
Oh, is it like a clock thing? Like it eventually we'll come back to...
No, it's not
positions?
that. It's just that, like, we can calculate, like, based on stars' trajectories, we can calculate back.
Be.
Like, we've got things, like, you could go out tomorrow. You could go out and buy a picture in a frame that says Carl and Emily, and it has the night sky in it from the night you got married or the
day proposed,
first date or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Apparently, we are pretty confident that in essence we could calculate the night sky up to about 3.8 billion years ago.
Wow.
So I'm guessing then maybe that's what they...
What I was saying.
Well, they could just run the calculations and go, okay, so we know that these things are from 35,000 years ago. This is what it looked like then. Let's run the numbers and figure out where are those planets now.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally turning back the clock. Yeah, that's another way you could do it for sure. So either the aliens...
I mean, they're traveling to another galaxy.
Either we did that or the aliens said, let's give them a hand and projected the astrology forward.
Yeah, but then that requires them having... That requires the aliens existing outside of time and knowing exactly when all of these things are going to be found, put together, and then that expedition will be put into motion.
Yeah. I mean, they're making it easier, but...
So those are my two negatives.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we just explained away one of them. The other one I think is still, it's a flaw. This one, maybe not. Do you have negatives, things that you're like,
I think the motives of our robot seem really weird this time, David. Like, yeah, his motives just seem really weird the whole time. So we have seen in the first Aliens film a robot whose motives were different than the rest of the crew, but they were aligned with another entity, with the corporation, right?
Right.
That makes sense. Okay. He's been programmed to follow this set of rules in order to profit the corporation. This one, David seems weird to me. He's been created by this old man,
the founder of the company.
That
has been mentioned pretty much, I think, in every Alien film up until this point. The company runs everything in the future.
And his motives are to meet the engineers and have them give him eternal youth, essentially.
Yeah.
That's pretty clear cut from what we find out from this guy. David's actions are wildly opposed to that.
Like the impregnating of...
Yeah, let's play with this genetic material that I don't like. He's a smart alien, or a smart robot rather.
Yeah, but we don't know what.
He doesn't know what this goo is going to do when he makes Buddy drink it. He doesn't know what Buddy, who's drinking the goo, is going to do to his lady friend when they do it. He's got no idea. He's literally playing with dynamite and matches.
Right.
Like, just say, and I chose that instead of saying playing with fire because it's wildly more explosive than just playing with fire. Like, he's got literally zero, like, not even like nitroglycerin, fire, and juggling it all. Like, it's wild to me. If you were to cut all that kind of him playing with dynamite decisions out and like him going to the chamber and the bridge and finding the living engineer, that all kind of tracks pretty cleanly. But anytime he's mucking about, and the only thing I can think of, like trying to explain it in my head, is that because of some of the conversations that are had that he has and his responses, it almost seems like he's trying to create life to kind of like, if I am created and I can create it by intelligent beings and I can create life, therefore I am an intelligent autonomous being too. Like almost like he's trying to find a soul somehow by messing with creation. I don't know. It's muddy. For me, in the concept of the story this film tells, it muddies the waters.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
I don't think it muddies even a little. I think it muddies it a lot. Like what outside of her becoming impregnated, and then the giant body hugger sucking on the alien, on the engineer, it doesn't add a lot to the film.
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard to say without watching Alien Covenant, I guess, and seeing if there's further explanation there, which is a weak argument for the film, because it should
be able to stand on its own.
Yeah, I agree.
So I for me, it was bothersome, and like those kind of going back to those conversations where it makes it seem like he's, the other characters are almost poking fun at him for, well, you're not real, what you wouldn't understand. And he's like, you're right, I wouldn't. It almost seems like he's he feels like, but I want to, like the way his response is. Am I wrong? Like, were you getting the same vibe I'm trying to explain here? Where in his responses, it seems like he was hurt or offended or being snarky back because he feels like he should or he does. You keep typing on your computer there. What are you looking for?
Something for the next thing I want to talk about. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what because then he also pulls a 180, which I think is just self-preservation at the end.
Yeah.
What is his justification for doing what he does? I mean, unless we end up finding out that David also had other programming.
Right, but again...
There's someone else in the company.
Again, we don't get that in this film.
No.
Therefore, it doesn't stand on its own. The film doesn't stand on its own in merit.
What would be his reasoning for...
Like, the only thing I can think of is the writers and directors are trying to convey something in those conversations to make us go, oh, something's happened in those 2 years where he's diving into people's dreams and voyeuring people's dreams that's flipped a programming switch that was unintentionally that wasn't supposed to be flipped.
Right. And he's just got like, and he's just basing it off. Right.
Which this would be my last gripe, and it'll be a good segue into things I did like, if you're...
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things I do like about this film, and it's one of the reasons I see this as that point as a negative because it's not clear, but I do kind of like the way if that is the reasoning, I like the way they try and show it. Is good movies will show you, not tell you what is going on. And that doesn't always mean words are never used. It just means they're not beating you over the head with what's the word? What's the phrase? Info dumps. Exposition dumps, right? Yeah. This film is very minimal on those big expositional info dumps, which I really like. Right. I think it does a great job of setting things like, you know, we're not going to talk about XYZ. We're just going to show it. So the old man, okay, he says he's dead, but then we see hints dropped. The first time she goes to the thing to get the alien taken out of her, the ER chamber. And it's like, this is only meant for a man. Well, that's weird. Like, this is a woman's room.
Right.
And then we see David talking to a stasis chamber that's still active. So, who's in the chamber?
Right.
And there's a few other like little show don't tells, and it's like, oh, they're giving us puzzle pieces without expositioning things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even when we find out he's alive, they don't do a huge exposition dump. They're just like, yeah, I want to talk to the engineers and I want them to say, like, help me live longer.
Right.
It's really, So I really like that. And to that point, the whole issue with David feels like a show don't tell. That with the way he responds in conversations where people are kind of poking fun at him being an alien and not human.
Yep. No, I agree.
It makes me wonder if that is what happened, and we're just kind of left. And kind of the other part of what Show Don't Tell does really well is it lets our imaginations kind of fill in the blanks. So Yeah. I still think the David issue of him kind of his narrative and his reasoning for doing what he did doesn't make a lot of sense. But at the same time, I like the way the movie makes me think about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, no, 100%. It's interesting. I was waiting for, and I'm glad we got it. We didn't quite get it in the way that I wanted us to get it. I was waiting for this film to have the aha moment, right? Where, like, because you watch a lot of the film and you're like, okay, I'm seeing all these components, all these things that are being introduced, but I don't know quite what's happening.
The intro,
I don't know how this is all coming together into one thing.
The first scene is great for that. There's no exposition. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know why our engineer is drinking the goo.
And then we do sort of get it.
Yeah, you watch it unfold and you're like, oh, but they could have easily done that with a voiceover exposition.
They could have.
They could have easily done that with.
But I'm glad they didn't.
A rolling text scroll to music.
But I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. It works so much better.
Because the two aha moments are when we find out, okay, the old man's alive.
Yeah.
Right? That gives you okay, this is what's what.
Yeah.
And then the other would be right at the end when not a xenomorph the way we know and love them yet, but something that looks a little more xenomorph bursts out of the body of the engineer. Mm-hmm. So, at some point, which leads us to, like, at some point I want to end it by talking about the biology.
Okay.
So let's just finish talking about the things we do like first. I mean, this goes without saying, and it's a little bit of it's not necessarily something that the film does that's super wonderful. It's just a byproduct of when it was made. Instantly right out of the gate, because it's a much more modern movie, it's an easier watch.
It looks better.
It looks better. It's got modern pacing, modern storytelling.
The technology looks more advanced than the technology of the Alien franchise.
Which is wild, and it made me think about something. It made me think about the fact that when we were reviewing the first Alien, we talked about how we talked about effects, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about how effects now are required to be a little bit more than they were back then, and the sensibilities of the audiences at the time, were as more impressive effects came out, that becomes the new standard, becomes the new threshold, blah blah blah. And it just made me think about it in a sense of, like, if you could get in a time machine and take this film back and show it to someone from the era of when the first one came out, people would lose, like, you could kill someone.
It'd be shocking.
And that sounds like an exaggeration. I'm assuming you've never seen The Exorcist.
No.
So The Exorcist, which I think Pete and I reviewed some point in the last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, I don't know. The Exorcist is... A lot of people still consider it to be the scariest movie to this day. I don't think it is. It's got some frightening scenes, but they're 1970s frightening scenes. Right. A lot of the effects hold up really, really, really well. Enough that while I was watching it, it was fun for me going, how do they do that? Right? In a time where they didn't have the computers to digitally remove things, and it was all like cell painting and what. How did they do this? But that film is famous for when The Exorcist played in theaters. Not just one person. countless accounts, news coverage of people who left partway through the film because they just couldn't handle it. Several accounts, multiple accounts of people who woke up in the theater after fainting, after passing out from what was on the screen, and then being brought out into the lobby to make sure they were okay, and all of this. And I was thinking, so it sounds like an exaggeration for me to say like a modern day horror film could get. You and I when we watched The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
The modern, like 2013 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe if The Exorcist in 1970, whatever it was, caused people to faint, like was
right,
became a physical hazard to people. I truly believe if you took a film like that in a time machine back and you strapped someone down and they could have a stroke. Like it could genuinely cause irreversible damage to someone. Which is just exciting for me to be like, in 40 years, what will it be like?
Oh, you'll be on a holodeck.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like we look at stuff now and we go, I don't think that could get any better because that looks like it just looks real, right? The CGI has gotten so good in some cases where it just looks real, unless it's Electric State. And I've been on a whole thing with this. I showed it to Pete and Aaron the other night.
Electric
Not
State?
the whole film, but just like
a few clips.
Here's a clip. Here's the image. Like, am I out to lunch? Am I like, what's happening here? I showed it to Brienne. I was like, wait, am I out to lunch with this CGI thing? Like, if you don't know what we're talking about, go listen to our review for the Electric State. I told them the whole the disagreement, the big debate, the whatever, and pretty much everyone was like, yeah, there's a little bit of like fuzziness going on. Like there's just like a softness to this CGI.
So I'm out to lunch,
apparently, it's not. No one was like, "Oh, that's god awful, horrendous."
Yeah.
But they were all like, "Yeah, I can see. It's
they're
not
kind of more middle ground between us."
Yeah, they were like, "I don't think it's bad CGI. However, if Carl's official stance is that looks photorealistic, and this is like he was blown away by the CGI in this, he thought it was great." He's also a little nuts. So apparently we got split right down the center. But yeah, it's just it's a pretty movie. The CGI in it is good.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I would say it's for being a film that is 13 years old, it's pretty close to modern standards.
It holds up.
Like it looked good.
Yeah. I could see it holding up for another 10 years easily. And
ultimately, I mean, the big question here is, on things of whether or not you liked it or disliked it. I like the origin, right? Like, because that's the thing with the prequel,
origin
of the universe,
right.
I like the backstory. I like it takes you on this interesting ride because it would have been so easy to do a film like this and be like, I don't know, there are monsters in space and goo that evolved into something else and, X, Y, Z. But no, the fact that there were these engineers that have the same DNA as humans, which then begs the question, if the engineers are creating life by using their DNA.
Some life, I would say. Like, I think, because as far as I know from like lore, the engineers created human-like life from their DNA.
Yeah.
But the aliens,
the xenomorphs
are an engineered weapon, not from their DNA.
Then from what they would still need DNA. Right? You can't make life without DNA. Can you? No. Right?
You
even plants have DNA.
You need something. But like they've created it.
This is like stuff from future films? Are you getting weird?
No, I don't know where I just know from reading stuff, like lore stuff, or watching lore videos.
I have to grab an auxiliary cord so that I can, for our biology segment here. So just keep talking.
Okay. So it's more in terms of like how they created the aliens, the way that I understand from what I've read and seen, it's more like it's more like the what is it, the wolves that they just cloned.
Yeah.
Right. So it's more like that, like an extreme of that, right? It's not what are they called? Not Timberwolves. They're it's a Game of Thrones wolf. Wolf clone. Give me Wikipedia wolf.
Are there wolves in Star Wars?
No. One of the clone troopers is called Wolf.
Oh.
So it gave me the Wikipedia wolf. Here, dire wolf. The dire wolf clones. Right? They're not actually dire wolves.
No, they're not.
Because they've taken dire wolf DNA and they've had to cross splice it or breed it or whatever with a couple other wolf type DNAs.
Yeah, there's several YouTube channels that are like debunk. They're like, look, what they did with these quote unquote dire wolves.
Impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive.
But they haven't brought back a species.
They didn't do what they're telling you they did. They're using terminology that they should not be using because they didn't actually do that.
But what is clear, I think, here is like they create through genetic cherry picking, they've created a biological weapon.
Let's trace the biological evolution.
The same way we create biological weapons.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's have AI explain to us
let's trace the biological evolution.
how the biology works.
Oh, like xenomorph biology?
Yeah. Based on with the most up-to-date info
you've
that we
asked
have here.
ChatGPT a question here?
Yeah.
Give us the prompt.
So the prompt was, it wasn't ChatGPT.
It's AI.
It's AI.
You've asked AI.
Explain to me the biological evolution of the xenomorph, including all the films up to Prometheus, but not past it. Because I don't want it to be like, and then you find out in Alien Covenant that,
this is something that happens.
This is a thing. So do we want to debate it first? Do we want to try to, I don't.
You've read this or seen it?
No.
Okay.
No. It's so weird in this one. Like, I don't even know that. Like, in the last one, we were kind of able to go, okay, so what happened with this, that, and the other thing? But in this, you have the engineers.
Right.
Which, to be seen whether they are in any way biologically related to, up for debate. Probably not, but up for debate whether they're in any way biologically connected to the xenomorphs. Just through DNA.
Okay.
Then you have the black goo.
Right.
You have the wormy guys that come out of the black goo that break the one guy's arm and seem to...
Which are the mealworms that we see.
Which are the mealworms. Then you have whatever thing Shaw took out of her stomach.
The body hugger.
The body hugger. Yes, because it grows into that giant...
Yeah, it looks like
it's like a face
weird
hugger,
face
kind
hugger,
of,
but it's a lot bigger, more arms.
And less like... Face huggers kind of have like crab fingers almost. Like
this is more tentacly.
An exoskeleton.
Yeah.
Whereas this didn't. It looked ooey gooey.
Yeah.
And then you have whatever the hell came out of... Whatever the hell came out of the engineer.
Yeah.
Which is not quite a xenomorph.
And you have, there's one other one. You have two other we'll call them mishap alien xenomorph interactions. You have, where is his name? You have Charlie Holloway, who gets infected because he drinks the goo, and then Elizabeth gets infected because they have sex. But then you also have Fifield, the Irish Scotsman, whichever it is, who's gets his face smashed. He ends up coming back to he's almost a zombie, a super zombie.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready?
Are we doing that first, or are we debating?
We can debate if you want to. If you think we should,
I think we should debate first.
Okay, so
we should, or at least have conversation.
You have the black
I don't know
goo.
How much we're going to debate, but
you have the black goo.
Some. Yeah.
Now, the first thing to determine is whether or not the mealworms are actual just mealworms that are somehow being mutated by the black goo, because we see the black goo and we see the mealworms independent of each other. And the mealworms do just look like mealworms at first.
Yeah. Oh, are you saying, like, are they a xenomorph?
No, I'm saying, are they just straight up alien planet equivalents of mealworms that have crawled into or touched this black goo, and the black goo is mutating them into...
Is there an or there? Or
yeah, or that they somehow... are just growing out of the black goo.
Are you asking what I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I think. I think the goo is the biological weapon that the engineers have created.
Okay.
That twists and distorts life into the xenomorph. It's like the beginning of the xenomorph. Is if the xenomorph is a infestation plague kind of thing. That is the essence of
so what
where
we
it
saw
starts.
in those two humanoid, like the zombies, is what happens if the black goo is the first stage, first life cycle stage, we'll call it, of what happens if that black goo gets into humans.
Yes. Yeah. So
the xenomorphs then you're proposing.
Michael and Fifield. Michael would have become what Fifield was.
Right. So then what you're proposing is that the xenomorphs as we know and love them today are somehow a down the evolutionary line version of what happens if mealworms touch this goo. No, because, well...
Do we... What happens
So,
with...
no, sorry. So, because the mealworms...
Is there one we're missing?
The mealworms are what...
Because what happens with Melbourne?
Who's Melbourne?
Melbourne's the one that gets the xenoworm in his mask and down his throat.
Right.
That thing just jumps out back out.
Those are the mealworms, right?
It doesn't infest... it doesn't infest its host with another parasite. It just jumped down Melbourne's throat.
We don't know. We didn't get far enough.
Jumps back out.
He got turned into a shish kebab, into grilled.
They don't burn
meat.
him, do they?
Yeah, Charlize Vickers does, right? Because he shows up as the zombie and tries to get on the...
No. Melbourne is... So we had the two guys who were left behind. One of them...
Yeah.
Got the goo on his face, became a zombie. The other guy had the mealworm break his arm.
Oh, I thought he just died. Like just got acid on his face and it just killed him.
The acid broke the visor,
right?
And then he fell in the goo
because it like melts to his face.
His visor. But then he fell in the goo.
Right.
Okay. And the goo, in my
approximation,
professional opinion, infected him. But then the other guy, Melbourne, had the mealworm parasite go down his throat. And it seems like, knowing xenobiology, that, it's going to lay eggs and he's going to have a chest burster. But that doesn't happen. It's like a bait and switch. It almost felt like a bait and switch.
Right.
Because what happens is when they go back to find these two guys, is they can't find the one. They find Melbourne, and they're like, "Oh, there's something down his throat," and it jumps out at them.
Comes out of his like trachea.
Yeah, and it jumps out at them, disappears, and they run away. So we don't know. Maybe a chest burster did come out of him. We don't
Later
know.
on, yeah.
But they never go back to it. So maybe that's a miss on the movie, but maybe that's just
so patient zero is actually it's when David takes the goo, puts a small amount of it into some champagne that he gives to Holloway.
Yeah.
Holloway then does the dirty with Elizabeth Shaw.
Yeah.
Which impregnates her with the body hugger. Which then does the thing down the throat thing to the engineer.
Yeah.
And what bursts out of the engineer is not a chest burster, is an alien. Is a xenomorph.
Yeah.
But like a smaller, not actually final xenomorph.
The chest burster is essentially a xenomorph, just a smaller version.
Right,
It's got to shed its skin.
We just haven't seen this thing.
This one comes out
much further along.
Yeah. And maybe that's because the engineer is much bigger, but who knows? Maybe the xenomorph that comes out of this guy will get much bigger like a queen does.
Okay, let's find out.
But anyway, before we start that, it is interesting that they kind of continue this trend of, except instead of with face hugger, what the face hugger impregnates, what the weaponized goo,
right? How
that interacts with people. You still continue to get sort of a Darwinistic approach to what comes out of the host,
right?
Of touching the goo.
Okay, let's trace the biological evolution and origins of the xenomorph based only on the information presented in the films up to and including Prometheus, i.e. Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, and Prometheus. It's important to note that the earlier films presented the xenomorph as a discovered entity with an unknown origin, while Prometheus specifically aimed to explore those origins, creating a more complex picture. The engineers and the black goo. Prometheus introduces the engineers, the giant, pale humanoids. They possess an extremely potent mutagenic substance.
It's ignoring... Hang on. For some reason, it's ignoring things in brackets.
Are you going to tell it to do it again, but read everything in brackets?
Well...
How much is in a bracket?
Some important stuff. So keep talking. I'm just going to remove the brackets.
I mean, so far, it sounds like I'm on track to be 100% right. So I'm just going to toot my own horn there a little bit, maybe?
I don't know. Did we actually...
he hasn't gotten too far down the rabbit hole, so doesn't matter who said what. Everybody's right so far. But man, the AI, it doesn't sound like, what was the old Microsoft chat, like Microsoft Sam, was it?
Oh, I don't know.
It sounded like really bad. It like sounded very robotic.
You're going back a long time.
It's chat AI is very smooth. What AI program is this?
So the information is coming from Google's Gemini.
Okay.
And then I am just...
Are you just removing the brackets and then going to hit play again?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm just running it through a text-to-speech thing.
Oh, that's not part of Gemini?
It is when you are doing it on a cell phone. There's a talk to me about it option.
Interesting.
On my laptop, there seems to be less so.
Wonder why that is.
I don't know. Maybe it is
a software thing?
I don't, or maybe it is a thing and I'm just not seeing it.
You got a read word for word option.
So this is going to get a little bit weird because some of the stuff that I'm taking out of brackets is, well, you know what? I can just add that in. Some of it was like just telling, like in brackets, it was telling you what film it was from. And so, so I've just, in lieu of brackets there, I've added the word from so that it doesn't go like Queen aliens. No, Queen from aliens.
Right. Okay. Yeah, just to make it run smooth, sound smoother. Man, AI. Weird.
Oh, it does some. I've gotten in some fights with it.
With AI?
Yeah.
About what?
Oh, I like intentionally. I've just been like, hey, I want you to have a fight with me. I want you to be real aggressive. I want you to swear at me. I want you to call me names. I want you to, and then I get nasty with it too, right? Like, I'll be like, what the hell? Why, X, Y, Z, you didn't do the dishes, you didn't whatever. And then I'll be like, I'm pretty sure my speak and spell had better computing power than you. And it's like, really, speak and spell? We're going to dip to that low of a, at least I'm capable of.
So what is the reasoning or purpose behind fighting with your AI?
I was just having fun.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this again.
Seeing what it would do. Oh, man.
The Xenomorph.
Do we want a different voice? There's Evelyn.
Sean Connery?
No, I can do male or female, and then we can have an accent or no accent.
Is there a Sean Connery accent?
No. No. We should do English Canada because that's where we're.
No doubt about it, eh?
No, yeah.
Gonna get a Demis and go back to the rink for a little shindig.
I'll tell you,
shinny, man.
I'll tell you about the aliens.
Okay, let's trace the biological evolution and origins of the xenomorph based only on...
Okay.
Over,
No.
Almost immediately.
No, we can't do that.
No. Just play that first three words again. Because, immediately, this is a Canadian speaking.
Okay, let's trace the biological evolution and origins of the xenomorph.
Okay.
Okay, buddy.
Okay,
bud. Go for some beers.
That's wild.
So let's play it like that. That's awesome.
What about this? We've got
Okay, let's trace the biological evolution and
evolution. No, we gotta just do American here because that's.
God, come on, do the Canadian.
Let's
elbows up, man.
Let's have Lewis. Lewis is gonna read it to us. And we just gotta.
Okay, let's trace the biological evolution and origins of the xenomorph, based only on the information presented in the films up to and including Prometheus, i.e., Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, and Prometheus. It's important to note that the earlier films presented the xenomorph as a discovered entity with an unknown origin, while Prometheus specifically aimed to explore those origins, creating a more complex and sometimes debated picture. The engineers and the black goo, as seen in Prometheus. Prometheus introduces the engineers, the giant, pale humanoids, the same species as a space jockey found fossilized in Alien.
Check.
They possessed an extremely potent mutagenic substance, often referred to as black goo, chemical A0-3959X.9115.
When was
This
it referred
substance
to
appears
as
to be
that?
a biological accelerant and weapon.
Did I miss something?
I don't know. It might be getting into in the novelization version it explains, X, Y, Z.
Comics and
yeah.
Or the novelization version of the book where more details are given.
Yeah.
It might explain what the alien writing says where we never get that explanation in the movie. Yeah.
This substance appears to be a biological accelerant and weapon designed to break down life forms and rewrite their DNA, often resulting in aggressive new organisms. The film shows various effects of the goo. Simple organisms worms exposed to it mutate into larger, aggressive snake-like creatures, hammerpedes, with acidic blood.
Hammerpedes.
When ingested in a tiny amount by Holloway, it alters his reproductive cells. Intercourse with Shaw leads to her rapid pregnancy with a large, squid-like organism, the trilobite. When Fifield is exposed directly, he mutates into a monstrously strong and aggressive humanoid creature. The engineers seemingly intended to use this substance as a weapon, possibly against humanity on Earth, but suffered an outbreak on LV-223, the planet, in Prometheus. The proto-xenomorph, Deacon, as seen in Prometheus. The trilobite organism born from Shaw acts similarly to a giant facehugger. It attacks the surviving engineer. This impregnation results in the birth of a new creature from the engineer's chest.
Reached the limit. The free limit. So I just got to read it now.
Okay.
Because son of a...
Should have used ChatGPT.
Does it talk?
I don't know.
No. Not for free anyways.
Not for free.
This creature, dubbed the Deacon, shares several characteristics with the classic xenomorph: an elongated head, a biomechanical appearance, though less pronounced, sharp teeth, and an inner pharyngeal jaw. The jaw that... the thing that comes up.
Yeah.
Crucially, the Deacon is not identical to the xenomorph seen in Alien. It lacks the distinct exoskeleton and dorsal appendages and has a different mouth structure. It represents a proto-xenomorph, or an early stage / cousin in the lineage, created through the specific pathway black goo to human male, to human female, to trilobite, to engineer, to Deacon.
Yeah.
The gap. From the Deacon/goo to classic xenomorph, Prometheus ends with the birth of the Deacon on LV-223. The original alien beings, with the discovery of the derelict engineered Juggernaut ship on LV-426, a nearby moon. It's a different planet.
Oh.
This
Same
ship,
solar system.
This ship contains thousands of leathery eggs, or ovomorphs, and the fossilized engineer pilot with its chest burst open. I did not notice that. The films up to Prometheus do not explicitly show how the Deacon lineage or another pathway involving the black goo evolved or was potentially refined into the classic xenomorph found on LV-426. However, the implication is strong. The engineers were involved with this life form. The derelict ship on LV-426, likely much older than the events of Prometheus, suggests another outbreak occurred where the engineers were transporting or experimenting with the xenomorph eggs or the means to create them, leading to the pilot's death and the ship's crash. The black goo interacting with the engineers or other unknown life forms over time likely led to the stabilization of the life cycle seen in Alien. So that's everything that we sort of need up until this point, but let's just go through some of this other stuff to see where we may have gotten it right or wrong up until this point. The classic xenomorph, life cycle as seen in Alien and Aliens. This is the state in which the creature is first encountered chronologically by humans in the film series. You have the ovomorph egg, leathery eggs containing a facehugger, sensing hosts nearby. Right, because they don't burst open until someone's
they just
near.
lay dormant.
The facehugger.
For potentially hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Thousands of years. Yeah.
Excuse me. A parasitic stage that emerges from the egg, attaches to a host's face, implants an embryo, and then dies.
Mm-hmm.
The chest burster. The immature xenomorph gestates inside the host before violently erupting from the chest cavity, killing the host. And then adult xenomorph. The chest burster rapidly matures into the adult form, Characteristics include a biomechanical exoskeleton, acidic blood, and an inner pharyngeal jaw, stealth, and extreme aggression. The specific morphology seen initially is often called the drone. So that's our standard xenomorphs are drones.
Yeah.
The Queen from Aliens.
Yep.
A much larger, more intelligent xenomorph variant capable of laying vast quantities of ovomorphs via a detachable ovipositor, establishing a hive structure. Warriors from Aliens. The primary soldiers of the hive, potentially developed from drones or a distinct stage, often depicted with rigid heads instead of the smooth dome of the original drone.
I didn't notice.
I didn't notice that they were different. I guess they were. Host influence and DNA reflex as seen in Alien 3. Alien 3 introduced the concept that the xenomorph takes on some characteristics of its host. When the facehugger implanted the embryo into a dog or ox, depending on the cut of the film. So apparently, the director's cut, it's a dog and not a cow.
Interesting.
The resulting xenomorph, the runner, or dog alien, was faster, quadrupedal, and lacked dorsal tubes, reflecting its host. This suggests a DNA reflex where the xenomorph incorporates useful host traits during gestation. Now I'm thinking at some point we got to go watch the director's cut.
Dog makes more sense because you think about that xenomorph and it's like super aggressive. It just wants to eat people. It's like, what traits did it pull out from a cow?
I feel like we have to,
that?
I feel like we have to watch the director's cut now. Genetic manipulation and hybridization as seen in Alien Resurrection. Set centuries later, this film deals with cloning and genetic tampering. Ripley is cloned along with the queen embryo she carried in Alien 3. The cloned xenomorph shows...
that's so quick thing. Like the embryo she had her in Alien 3, they're saying
is cloned along.
Is a queen.
Yes.
She wasn't cloned and then somehow a queen was produced.
No, and we knew that.
Cloning.
She says it's a queen at the end of Alien 3. She's like, it's a queen.
Oh, that's
she
right.
knew it was a queen.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
The cloned xenomorphs...
This is still a weird thing, and I don't know if we talked about it in that film.
Okay.
What creates the queen embryo though?
I don't know. Maybe
like the face hugger.
Maybe if
special?
I keep reading.
Yeah.
I don't know. The cloned xenomorphs show some deviations, possibly due to the imperfect cloning or incorporation of Ripley's DNA. Most significantly, the cloned queen develops a secondary mammalian-like reproductive system that gives live birth to a xenomorph human hybrid, aka the newborn. This creature is vastly different physically and behaviorally. This isn't natural evolution, but rather the result of an advanced genetic manipulation showing the instability and potential for hybridization inherent in the xenomorph genetic code. In summary, based upon the films, the xenomorph likely originated not through evolution, but as an engineered biological weapon or byproduct created by the engineers using their potent black goo mutation.
Nailed it.
Prometheus shows the creation of a proto-xenomorph, the Deacon, via a complex chain involving the goo and multiple hosts. The stable classic xenomorph life egg cycle, facehugger, chestburster, adult/queen, found on LV 426 in Alien, represents a later, possibly refined or stabilized version of this engineered organism, which the engineers were transporting when their ship crashed. The organism exhibits adaptability by incorporating host DNA, as seen in Alien 3, and is susceptible to significant alteration through artificial genetic manipulation, as seen in Alien Resurrection. There you have it. What determines
A queen facehugger embryo.
how do we end up with queens instead of drones? Give it a second. Identifying the core question. Scanning the relevant films for clues. Synthesizing. Oh, it's going too fast. Identify what the films don't explain. Formulate the answer. Based on the films, queens exist and lay eggs. Aliens definitely introduces queens develop from embryos. What the film doesn't explicitly explain if there are specific royal facehuggers. Are some facehuggers genetically predetermined to implant queen embryos? Perhaps coming from specialized eggs laid by previous queens?
If there's some kind of hive mind, maybe
Is there egg morphing?
maybe if there's a hive mind and the facehuggers are incorporated in the hive mind and they know there's no queen, they immediately start producing or changing their egg that they'll implant to be a queen egg.
Right.
So that the next xenomorph is a queen. That would be my headcanon. And as we know, when it comes to these things, I'm always right.
Yeah. I'm just wondering. Kane, unnamed engineer, Ripley 8. Have we only seen?
It's only ever been 2 queens that we've seen.
Yeah.
And we've only once has there, yeah, so we've seen 2 queens. One already existed.
Interesting question for you here.
The other one was impregnate. I guess technically 3.
So
if you want to
who
count
have we seen a
gestation.
chest burst out of? Kane, the guy from the first one.
Right.
Ripley had one in her, but it never burst out of her.
Right. Well, yes. Yeah. A cow
The cow.
/ dog.
Is that it?
I mean, 2 had lots of aliens on the same planet that we found number 1 was in.
Yeah.
But I don't think we saw anybody actually have it burst out of their chest into.
No. So the only thing that I'm wondering, and this may be like
obviously it's lots of people had that burst out of their chest into.
Yeah. This may be like a weird this may be a stretch. But the only person who we can for sure say had an alien in them that was a queen is also the only female human that we've seen impregnated. So I don't know. Right? Again, if they take on the traits of their host,
right?
Who knows?
So Elizabeth Shaw.
Males don't have eggs.
Elizabeth Shaw was impregnated by xenomorph semen.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's a t-shirt.
Does the body hug, does that mean the body hugger is female? And no, but we've only ever seen male.
I don't know. We're still
engineers.
until we see Alien Covenant, we're still a little in the dark. We don't know.
Yeah. So even if the chest hugger was a female.
Okay, we got to score this thing.
Could be a male
on a scale of 0 to 10.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm giving this film. I'm going to give it a 7.6.
7.6. That is the exact same as Alien.
Yeah. I couldn't. I think it's as good. I couldn't decide. So I'm saying it's as good.
Huh.
What say you?
Well, the things this film doesn't do well, the problems that it has, like the problems you brought up and stuff, while they are kind of problems, I think they're fairly minor.
Yeah.
I think the conflict I have with David's motives far eclipse the other issues we talked about. And even though I think it's a big problem narratively, I like the way it makes me think about the character. So overall, this film is really great. I think it's the best in the series so far. I think it's an 8.
It's an 8.
I didn't understand that.
Is that your phone?
No, that's your phone. Your phone's right there. That
I
was your phone.
didn't ask you.
Shut up! I said shut up!
My phone's doing weird things. 8.
Apparently, Gemini is talking to us through your phone.
Sweet. So there you have it. What'd you watch this week?
Well, hang on. This is year 1 complete.
It is a monumental moment.
So let's break down the final numbers.
Okay. So
right? Your films that you've picked, break it down.
So you want me to list all the films?
No. Just
we'll
the
turn
averages.
this into a PDF and share it. I assume, right?
Sure.
We'll be able to do that.
Sure.
Pull your phone away. You hear that feedback?
I'll put it over here for Patreon people.
So
for Patreon,
for
or
Patreon,
everyone? Yeah.
So, of the films that I showed Carl, on a scale of 0 to 10, I gave my films an average score of 7.5.
You liked them.
I liked them. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
Carl gave my films a 6.9.
Didn't like them as much.
Didn't like them as much,
Still
but
liked
still
them.
good.
Still liked them.
I
Yeah.
picked
On
good
average,
movies.
yeah.
Which gave me a total score of 7.2.
Yeah. A total average score.
Yeah. So
Combined average.
So I picked some great movies.
Yeah.
Of the films that Carl showed me, he gave his films a total score, an average score of 7.1. So he didn't like his films as much as I liked my films.
No.
And I gave his films an average score of 5.9, which means I didn't like his films as much as he liked my films. We both essentially, well, no. In both cases, you liked what's that mean? You liked my films more than I liked your films, and I liked my films more than I liked your films.
So, I mean, based purely on those numbers.
Which gave you an average overall of 6.5. So,
Right.
like...
Based purely on just the numbers there,
Good,
not
but not
looking
great.
not looking at any other data. Because there's other data to consider there, right?
Yeah.
You picked better films.
I picked better films.
Right. Fair, which is fair. I'm not going to.
You knew you picked some crap.
Yeah, I knew I picked some crap. I knew I was showing you crap. I think if we were to look, I think if we were to look at if we were to break down the films that we showed each other, I think I showed you more knowing, showing you crap. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I didn't show you a ton that was like straight. There was two that I would say were.
You didn't throw
not
any.
Great
This is a
into
Bruce Almighty at me.
Bruce Almighty is a great film. You mean My Name is Bruce?
Hello, my name is Bruce Almighty is different, right? Yeah. You didn't show me any. Hello, my name is Bruce's. You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't go like, here, we're gonna watch The Room. It's complete garbage, but
yeah,
but you'll have fun with it.
Well, there was Nun Creation and Alien 3, but
even those, Well, Alien 3 I rated pretty bad.
And you gave Annabelle Creation a 3.5.
Yeah. Yeah, so those ones you kind of knew were going to be floppers.
Yeah. I gave My Name is Bruce a 0.5.
You did.
That didn't help you.
Mad Max was bad. I knew that was going to be bad. Usual Suspects was a bit of a. I thought you'd like that one better than you did.
So did I.
I expected Conan to get a lower score.
The Usual Suspects. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. I was just
Yeah, that was the crime mystery one.
Yeah, that's forever ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conan? You thought Conan would do better?
No, I knew Conan wasn't going to be great.
That was crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all this means is that next week, when you, you know what we should do?
What should we do?
Should we flip a coin to see who goes first?
That seems unfair.
Why?
Because if you win, you get to show me 2 movies back to back.
Yeah, but it's a new year, new fiscal year for us.
Who showed the first movie last time? I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Which is so fair would be this time I get to go first. That would be fair.
I don't know. That doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem fair because we're already on the road.
Yeah, but
it'd be like
stop for
it'd
snacks.
be like alternating drivers. We're driving like it's a 3-day trip and we're alternating drivers. And it's like, okay, I'm going to start driving. And we alternate drivers on the way. And we stop at a hotel and we get up and it's like, all right, let's flip a coin. See who drives first. And then I have to drive first because I lost and I drove first at the end of the trip, the first day.
No, this would be more like we alternate back and forth all the way to our destination. We spend a week at our destination. And then whoever drove last a week ago is also the one that's going to do the first leg of the trip on the way back. But then we're going to alternate again. Is actually what it's like.
I feel like that's a poor analogy.
It's far better than what yours just was.
We'll
figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
There'll be a whole new thing, new scores.
Starting from scratch.
From scratch. All over. What'd you watch this week?
I watched some stuff.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I'm asking about.
Yeah, not a whole lot. It was a busy weekend. It's Thanksgiving.
Nope.
No,
it was Easter.
Man, wow. It's been a week.
You're struggling.
Yeah.
Bruce Almighty, bad car analogy, and now you think it's
name not being able to remember names. So I'm 6 months ahead of you, man. This is how you do time travel.
Pretty sure you're 6 months behind. You know what year it is?
2012.
Okay, that's problematic.
Yeah, so we didn't do any. I didn't watch any movies. I actually didn't watch a lot. Now that I think about it, I finished One Piece. The Wano arc. The Wano arc is done.
So now you're done for a while.
200
you're taking
some
a break.
episodes. I took a break. I started watching something else on my own.
Yeah.
So I'm continuing to watch.
Still can't get your wife to watch porn with you. Eh?
No. Continue.
Hang in there. Don't give up. Marriages are built on compromise.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. What are you watching?
Compromise. Oh, man. So continue to watch Mad Men with my wife. On my own, after finishing the One Piece Wano arc, I started watching something new. I started watching Daredevil Born Again.
Okay. And?
3 episodes in. Oh, man. This feels like Netflix Daredevil.
Well, it is.
It's so good.
It is Netflix Daredevil.
It is. Well, I say this is Netflix Daredevil because the Daredevil we got in She-Hulk, while the same actor, felt a little bit off.
Right. She-Hulk was not a gritty show.
Yes. But it felt like Netflix Matt Murdock got done dirty.
But the Daredevil that we got, because Daredevil's been popping up a lot, the Daredevil that we got in Echo felt like Daredevil.
Yes.
That felt like Netflix Daredevil.
Netflix Daredevil.
So
yeah, we only saw him in a fight scene. It was good. It was really well done.
Yeah.
Really well choreographed.
The only thing about that show you like.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, this is good. 3 episodes in. It's how much do I say without spoiling?
Don't tell me anything because it's on my short list. That's on my short list. You know what's actually on? You know what I'm watching before I watch that though. Even though Netflix Daredevil is done now, and so I'm like doing things in the wrong order. Dude, Andor season 2 is happening right now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm going after Daredevil.
Andor season 2, and we're also in the middle of Last of Us season 2, and so I'm like, dude, this is a great era for television.
I will say what I think I can say without spoiling anything for Daredevil. It feels like the softest of reboots.
Right.
In that it's almost like they're a re-origin.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Like they're not throwing anything out from the old, but they're kind of like,
Cool. That's exciting.
Yeah. I think it's fun. Anyway, what did you watch?
That's it. No family movie nights. No.
It was like
Easter.
Friday we were at family all day.
Yeah.
Saturday we were at family all day.
So you deprived your
Friday morning was church and then family, and then Saturday same.
Friday morning. Oh, Easter.
And then Saturday was family all day, and then Sunday was church and then family all day.
Man, that's I don't know.
That's what happens when your family lives close.
Yeah, listen, no disrespect to church or churchy people or Christians or atheists or no disrespect to anyone. Did you feel like over the Friday and Sunday, did you walk out of the end of that weekend going, yeah, that needed to be two services? Be honest.
I mean, I felt like I could have skipped out on one. Normally it doesn't bother me. I don't mind it at all.
Right.
But this time I was just like, yeah, we could have skipped one of these or both of these, just because my boys right now, well, my youngest son,
it's an ordeal to have kids in church.
They have nursery. Unfortunately, they didn't have a screened volunteer in the nursery. So your kid's in the nursery, you got to be in the nursery with them.
Right.
So Friday I got to sit in on the service. I thought it was a good service. I enjoyed it. Sunday I didn't, because me and my wife, we kind of switched back and forth, because my one boy, even if there is childcare for a nursery there provided, whatever, my youngest son is pretty clingy, which he's not for daycare. Like he'll run into the daycare and not even say bye.
Just people he knows better.
Yeah, he sees her every day, right?
Better
the
toys.
Provider. Yeah, but the nursery at the church.
You don't have to just sit and play with a Noah's Ark.
Come play with me. Come play with me. It's like, go on your own. I want to sit in the service with adults.
Yeah.
But
I always wonder.
Me and my wife got to alternate.
I always just wonder with Easter that it's like
too much.
I don't know. Are even the pastors or the priests or whatever, are they there going, it's a Friday morning. Like, we're really only here because it's Easter. I don't have anything new and great to say to you. We're just here because it feels like we're supposed to be here.
Well, I think, in my opinion, a good pastor will dovetail their sermons.
Sure.
They'll
But did they?
I don't know. I had to sit in the nursery for the second one.
Right. So in your case this Easter, he didn't rise. There was no it was all doom and gloom. It was all doom Friday.
And gloom. Yeah. Sunday's coming, but for me I was in the nursery, so it never really did.
No. But the good news is in your world it's already Thanksgiving, which means you don't have to wait as long as everyone else for Easter Sunday to come again.
Yeah. I got 6 months.
I watched just more Bad Batch. Yeah, it's been a busy week, but we watched some more Bad Batch, and it's like, man, season 2, man.
It's good.
Yeah, because we're at the point now.
Did we finish? We watched season 2.
We're at the point.
We watched it all and then reviewed it all in one go.
So I'm going to spoil something here because whatever.
Well, we've seen
season
it.
2.
We've reviewed it.
Because like in season 2, they like the Empire or like one guy in the Empire who's all like, to hell with clones. I want stormtroopers to be recruits. He like bombs Camino.
Yeah.
Destroys the cloning facility. And the only two people who, really that we know of that are left from Camino are the Prime Minister and the like head doctor scientist. The two people that like you see in Attack of the Clones. The two
outside of like the Bad
Kaminoans.
Batch and a few other clones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I mean specifically Kaminoans.
Oh yeah, right. Right.
And so anyways, they're going up to the doctor. The Empire is like, hey, your research, your city's gone, your people are gone, but your research isn't, blah, blah, blah. And we have a project for you. We want you involved. And she's like, look, I know what you want me for, and I'm not going to participate in this. And I'm not going to, blah, blah, blah. And I don't care if the Emperor has use for my, whatever's. And I'm just sitting there watching it going, oh, yeah, this is the beginnings of Palpatine. Like, this is the setup for the payoff from the Disney, like him returning, right? And I'm doing the timeline, the math in my head, and I'm like, his son, Rey's dad, will be a part of this.
This is Filoni trying to fix Disney's mess.
No, I think it's amazing, and it just makes it better. It makes it all better. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all listed, or X or whatever. Stupid. All listed down below. What is it called now? Is it
it's X?
No. But I mean, like, instead of tweeting something, do you X it?
I have no idea.
I'm
I don't
Xing.
use it. I never used it when it was Twitter. I don't use it now. I got no interest in it.
That surprises me. I would think out of all of the social medias, that would be one that you're more like, look, it's just I can get news from it, or I can get like just feeds of whatever. I don't have to deal with all this other crap. That surprises me a little. Yeah. You seem like an X to me.
No.
We have a Patreon page.
Yeah.
You can support us, join our Discord. We'll get this. Carl will do his spreadsheet magic, turn it into a PDF, and we'll
PDF. I'll just share the link. You can share. Share the link as a view only.
We've got other stuff on that spreadsheet. I wouldn't, because that spreadsheet has multiple sheets.
I can
pages.
copy that spreadsheet as a duplicate.
Sure.
And get rid of all the other stuff.
I mean,
and just shows
just
the scores.
as easy to do a PDF, is it not?
Yeah.
Just as easy.
Yeah.
Then people don't have to click on a link. I can actually post. Actually, it'd be great to share it as a image, as like a PNG.
I can do that.
Yeah. And we have merch. We have new merch.
Well, we have Patreon. You get some free stuff.
Yes.
Like
bonus content.
Like articles where you find out that Pete is a complete knob and has watched pretty much no
he's sleeping on DreamWorks.
Completely sleep. What was it, like 6?
I don't know.
I don't even think it was 6. Out of like almost 50 DreamWorks films, he's seen like a handful.
Yeah.
Oh man. You can read an article and find out that I'm the expert in animated films in the Movie Man Circle.
Yeah. And we have merch.
Some new stuff. You're working hard making some new merch.
We have a shirt that says people who talk during movies don't get invited to movies.
Hell yeah.
We're just spewing facts left and right. Yeah. And go listen to our Superman 3 episode and you'll know why we have a shirt that says the big juice has already been squeezed. And has a picture of... You know what's funny? It was never meant to be dirty. I mean, it sounded a little dirty when Pete initially said it. But then afterwards, we're like, well, what kind of... We should have a picture of fruit on it. What fruit should we do? We're like,
lemon?
We're like lemons, oranges, limes...
Apples.
You can squeeze apples. You can do... Like, there's all types of things. And then Aaron was like,
Avocado.
no, banana.
Oh my goodness.
Should be a banana. So it has a banana on it with lots of juice, and the shirt just says the big juice has already been squeezed. Do with that which you will.
Oh my goodness.
And until next week, when either Carl or I put a movie forth, it hasn't been decided. We'll duel it out. We will duel it out.
Fight to the death.
And then we'll figure out the biology, the final biology of the xenomorphs.
Yeah. We'll fight to the death. The winner gets to pick the first movie and then has to record the podcast by themselves.
Yeah, has to bury the body.
Yeah.
It'll be a whole ordeal.
Yeah.